The work you do has worth. Not because someone famous endorsed it, not because it goes viral, not because the market told you it does. The work you do has worth because of what it is and because of who you are while you are doing it. You may have spent years waiting for someone to confirm this, waiting for a promotion to validate the quality, waiting for a paycheck to legitimize the effort, waiting for praise to settle the question of whether the work is good. That waiting is over. The validation does not have to come from outside anymore. The worth was always there, regardless of who noticed. What you produce has value. The hours you spend on the work matter. The care you put into the details matters. The thinking you do that no one sees matters. The problems you solve that no one acknowledges matter. The small improvements you make over time matter. The standard you hold yourself to when no one is checking matters. This is the real measure of work. Not the title, not the salary, not the recognition, the actual quality of the actual thing you produce and the actual integrity of how you produce it. By that measure, your work has worth because you are someone who does work with care. You are skilled at what you do. The skills you have were earned. Some of them came easily. Most of them did not. You learned by trying. You learned by failing. You learned by watching someone better than you and figuring out what they were doing. You learned by showing up again and again for years, getting incrementally better at things that other people found impossible. The skill you have right now is the cumulative result of every hour you have ever invested in becoming good at this. That investment was real. The skill is real. You did not stumble into your competence. You built it. There may still be skills you are working on. There may be areas where you feel less confident. That is normal. Even masters of a craft have edges they are still developing. The presence of growing edges does not negate the skill you already have. Both can be true. You are skilled, and you are still learning. Your work serves someone. The work you do, whatever form it takes, serves a person somewhere. A client, a customer, a reader, a patient, a colleague, a student, a user. Someone benefits from the thing you make or the service you provide. The benefit is real, even if you do not always see it, even if you rarely hear about it, even if no one ever thanks you for it. Most service is invisible. The person whose problem you solved often never realizes how close they came to having that problem. The customer whose experience you improved often does not know what it would have been without your work. The benefit happens, and it accrues to people you may never meet in ways you may never witness. The work still matters. The unseen impact still counts. You are paid because the work is worth being paid for. If money flows to you in exchange for the work, that flow is meaningful. Someone decided your work was worth their resources. Someone decided to part with their money to receive what you offer. That transaction is the market's quiet acknowledgement of value. It is not the only acknowledgement, and it is not the most important one, but it is real. You can receive that compensation cleanly, without flinching, without diminishing, without thinking you were getting away with something. The work was worth what was paid. The exchange was fair. Both sides got what they came for. You can take what you have earned and let it be yours. Your worth is not the same as your output. This is important. The work you do has worth, and you have worth. But those two facts are separate. The work is something you produce. You are who you are. The work can vary in quality from day to day, project to project, season to season. You remain who you are, regardless. A bad day at work does not make you a less worthy person. A failed project does not subtract from your inherent value. A slow season does not diminish you. The output fluctuates. The self underneath stays the same. You can rest in that distinction, especially when the work is hard. This also means you can take time off without losing yourself. You can rest without becoming less. You can stop producing for a while and still be the same person you were before. Your worth does not depend on continuous production. The market may want continuous production. You are not the market. You do good work and you can stop performing about it. There is a difference between doing good work and performing about good work. Performing means making sure people see you doing it. Performing means narrating your effort. Performing means broadcasting your hours. Performing means turning the work into content for an audience. You can do the work without performing it. You can do excellent work that no one watches you produce. You can put your effort into the thing itself rather than into the impression of effort. The performing was always optional. You can let it go and you can let the work speak for itself. This frees up an enormous amount of energy. The energy you used to spend curating how the work looked from the outside is now available for the work itself. The work gets better. The performing fades. The result speaks more clearly than the performance ever did. You are allowed to be proud of your work. Pride in your work is not arrogance. It is acknowledgement. You can look at what you made and feel the satisfaction of having made it. You can recognize that the work is good when the work is good. You do not have to wait for permission to feel that. The voice that taught you to dismiss your own work, to deflect compliments, to act small about achievements, was not protecting you. It was diminishing you. You can put down that voice. You can say simply, "I made this, and I am proud of it." That is a sentence you are allowed to say. Pride in your work is also sustainable. It does not require comparison. It does not depend on being better than someone else. It just requires honest recognition of what you produced. The recognition can be private. It does not need to be announced, but it can be felt fully by the person who actually did the work. You can be honest about your limits. There are things you do well, and there are things you do not do well. There are clients you should serve and clients you should not. There are projects that fit your skill and projects that do not. Knowing the difference is part of the worth of your work. Saying no to bad fits is not a failure. It is competence. You do not have to take every job. You do not have to please every potential client. You do not have to be everything to everyone. Specialization is part of mastery. The narrower your focus, often the higher the quality. The honest decline is sometimes the most professional thing you can do. You can charge what your work is worth. The number you ask for in exchange for your work is not the same as your worth as a person. But the number does reflect something real about what you produce. You can set that number based on the actual value being delivered, not based on your relationship to money or your fear of losing the client. Underpricing is not modesty. It is a misalignment between what is being given and what is being received. You can correct that misalignment without apology. The right number serves both sides. It allows you to do the work sustainably. It signals to the buyer that they are getting something serious. You can ask for what the work is worth, and you can do it without flinching. The asking itself becomes part of the professional standard you bring to the work. You take pride in showing up, even on days when the work is hard, even on days when motivation is low, even on days when nothing in particular is going right. You show up, you sit at the desk, you open the file, you make the call, you begin. The beginning is its own kind of accomplishment, especially on the days when beginning is the hardest part. The cumulative effect of showing up over years is enormous. The people whose work you admire, almost all of them, are people who showed up consistently for a long time. There is no other path. The talent matters less than the showing up. The ideas matter less than the doing. You are someone who shows up, and that is most of the secret. Your work has worth because you have integrity in it. You do not cut corners in ways you would be ashamed of. You do not deliver less than you said you would. You do not lie about the work. You do not promise what you cannot deliver. The integrity you bring to the work is the foundation that makes the work valuable. Skill without integrity is just performance. Integrity without skill is good intention. You bring both. The integrity is not always visible to clients or colleagues. Sometimes only you know it is there. That is enough. The integrity is for you first. It is what allows you to look at the work with steady eyes. It is what allows you to take the compensation cleanly. It is what allows you to rest at the end of the day, knowing the work was honest. You are someone who does work that is worth doing. That is who you are now. That is who you have been for longer than you sometimes remember. The worth of your work is not in question. It was not in question yesterday. It will not be in question tomorrow. Your work has worth. You have worth. The two things are connected, but they are not the same. Both are true. You always were, you are, you will continue to be.